Okay, let's see what's going on here. Let's see if I just do that. Okay, we are live. We are going. It is. Oh, all right. It's Friday night. Woo! At least it's Friday night where I'm at. Some of you, it might be late in the evening. Others, it might be tomorrow already. My name is Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this is a special evening. It is Friday night. It is Friday Night Live, and we get together usually every Monday night and every Wednesday night. But my wife is out with a girlfriend, gonna go see a new movie. So she said, you can do whatever you want." So I'm here. We're gonna draw. That's what I like to do. I can do it every night. But drawing with you guys makes it better. Okay, enough of that. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. And this, I just want to welcome everyone. If it's your first time here, we're going to be drawing this portrait tonight. And I'm going to take you through step by step how to do it. Some things to look for. Just sharing with you my own techniques. If you like this show, please give me a thumbs up and a like. A little comment's always helpful as well. Join our Facebook group. The link is down in the description. We have a beginner's workshop class called Beginner's Workshop. That's also free. Check that out as well. Okay, enough of that. I can see live chat, so if you want to say something, by all means. But let's go ahead and get started here. All right. Let's go over a couple little things before we do. And I have this method that I use whenever I draw a portrait. And if you have tuned in before, we always review it because I never know who's going to be new to this, but it's a great process. So it's what I like to call 2D, 3D, and face placement. Thing is, drawing a face is like setting a ship in motion. And you want to get some of these basic things in the right direction. And when you do, even if you mess up with like the smaller details, the bigger it's heading in the right direction. So that's what this whole method does. So what do I mean by this? So here's the idea. 2D, I'm going to look right at the camera here. 2D is the first question you've got to ask yourself. Is the head leaning to the right or is the head leaning to the left? And once you determine which way it's leaning, then you ask yourself, let's say it was leaning a little bit to the left. Then you ask yourself, is it coming forward, 3D, toward you, or is it going back? You see that? And then the last thing is, once you've established those two things, then you say, okay, which way is the head facing? So this is where we determine where to put the face, okay? Hey, Leah, how are you? So let's let's walk through just a couple ideas with this first before we actually jump into our face here. So I'm just going to draw three circles here, okay? And this first one, let's say the 2D axis is pointing this way. So let's just put a mark just like that. All right, Savage. Hello, how are you, my friend? A Savage Rebel. I like that. All right, so we're going to call this A. This is B, and this is C, okay? So B, let's get B pointing in that direction. How about that? All right. Hey, Rona's here. Hello, good evening. Oh, it's almost midnight. Okay, all right, sounds good. Well, I was glad that we got to do it a little bit earlier, Rona, so you can check it out for a little bit, okay? Last one, we'll do the best stuff at first here, okay? Last one is going in that direction there. So the first thing we want to establish is the 2D. Is it leaning to the left or is it leaning to the right, okay? The next thing we want to determine is the 3D. Is the head tilting forward or is it tilting back? So in this case, let's say this one is tilting back, all right? In this one here, we'll say this one is tilting forward. And we indicate that by drawing an equator line. And you could say the equator line also lines up with the brow line, okay? And this last one, we're going to also say that this one is going back in space as well. Hey, Russell. Oh, you're working at the same time. All right, that sounds good. All right, so that's the 3D. We've determined if the head is coming forward or it's going back. All right, and then the last is, where is the face? So in A here, let's say the face is right there, and I'm going to put a mark here, and that mark would be right here. Okay, that mark's going to be right here on the glabella, right in between the eyes, right in between the brow line. Okay. And so this is going to say my face is going to be pointing that direction. So let's drop a center line, right, just like that, and it's going to be parallel to the center line. Okay. All right, B. Let's say this person's looking out in that direction. All right, let's drop our center line right there. And then in C, let's say this person is looking in this direction. All right. That's the center of their face. All right, once we have those, once we've stepped through the 2D, the 3D, and the face, next thing I want to look for is the temples. All right, the temples are on either side of your brow line. Okay, so if this is the center line, I'm on A now. There's going to be one temple, and then the other one's going to be a little bit further away because this is a 3/4 view. And in B, the same thing. I'm going to put one temple there, and then this other one's going to be a little bit further away. It's a 3/4 view. And the last one, this is going to be more of a profile view because he's turning so far away from us, but that's where that's going to be. And you can kind of randomly guess these things. Just shift them left to the right, depends on where the face is. Okay, let's take, when you kind of look at a face, it's flat on the sides. If you look at a profile, it's very round. So in this case, let's just add a little, let's kind of slice off the side of the head there. And we're going to slice it off over there. In this one, we're going to slice it off toward the back there. So this would be, let's see, 2D, 3D face, and temples. Okay, along the side here, let's drop a straight line. This is going to show us kind of the side of the head. And then from here, let's get this jaw, where we're going to drop a jaw down, and then sweep it underneath. So we're going to drop a jaw, and we're going to sweep it underneath. We're going to come around here and sweep it underneath. Bottom of the chin is going to line up with all of these marks like that. Let's do it over here now. This is a little bit more interesting. All right. So we're going to come down and we're going to like this because this head is turning up so much. We're going to see the underside. You see that? We're going to see the underside there. All right, and there we go. We got that too. All right, let's go ahead now and let's think about the bottom part of the nose, okay? And all I'm going to do on that, it's going to be right about there. And I'm just going to give just a little bit of shadow there, okay? So this one's going to stick out. I'm looking down at it. You see that? And this one is like almost straight at me. That's probably a little too low, actually. I should move that up just a little bit. Hey, John. It's Friday night, John. All right, let's get this nose in here and just kind of come in here, and we're going to just kind of draw the sides on either side. Same thing over here. A dad who draws family. I love it. I love it. All right, let's get some eyeballs in here now, and let's just make it simple, okay? Because really all I want to do in this exercise is to help you get an idea of getting everything set in the right direction. This is really the first step in getting comfortable with drawing the head. Okay, the ear now will always go in the bottom right region of the head, like right here, okay? And just remember that usually it's the top of the ear will line up with the brow line, and the bottom, top of the ear lines up with the brow line, and the bottom of the ear lines up with the bottom of the nose. All right, so we can kind of like come around like this. You see that? And down here we can drop this down. There's an ear going to be right there, and an ear is going to go right like that. Rona, are you still with us? You still with us, or did I put you to sleep? I may have put you to sleep. All right, let's continue on here. Let's be right behind the nose. This little region is going to be called the ball of the mouth. And if you are up in age, then those lines of the ball of the mouth are going to show up more than if you're young. Okay. And then the last thing, let's drop a, yeah, look at that, Rona's still here. Okay. We're going to add a little chin, so just a little small circle there for our chin. And the last thing I want to show you on this is placement of the mouth. So typically the corners of the mouth will line up with the center part of your eye. All right. So, and they go to the edge of the barrel of the mouth. And then the last little measurement I want you to remember is the corner of the eye lines up with the outer part of the nose. So let me just kind of show you that over here. So here are two eyes, right? Corner of the eye. The wings of the nose, those usually line up just like that. And then, of course, the corner of the mouth, not all the time, but enough, goes to the pupils of the eye. All right? That's what we want to remember. If you tuned in for the first time tonight, if you're watching this for the first time and you're tired and ready to quit, if you got this far and if any of this stuff is new, then you have succeeded. Okay? I don't care what happens from here on out, but you have completely succeeded. Getting these things in the back of your mind is pivotal when you come to drawing the face. All right, let's do what we came down here to do, okay? So first thing I'm going to do is get my sphere. Okay, we're going to look at the 2D. Where's the 2D? So if I, you know, this 2D of this girl here is slightly leaning to the right. Okay, now the 3D is, this person is, I could tell because they're looking up. Our eye level is below them. We're looking up at, the nose and the corner of your eye is also with 3/4 view. The nose and well, Rona, yes and no. Okay, that's like, that's a great question that you just asked. I'm going to show. Let's look at this. Because this is exactly why we have this conversation. So as I look at our model here, look at this. There's the corner of the nose, and that lines up perfectly with the corner of the eye. Okay. Now look at over here. Oh, look at that corner of the nose, and that does not. That almost lines up with. That lines up with the pupil almost. You see that? So these are, when I give you these rules and you look at these proportions, it's important to keep them in your mind, but depends on the situation. You might have to adjust them ever so slightly. So they're not hard, fast rules you got to stick with. They're just guidelines to kind of point you in the right direction, and then you may have to adjust, okay? Let me show you before we go any further, and I'm sorry if this takes a little bit longer, but I do want to show you, Ron, this is good, okay? When I'm drawing the portraiture, I use essentially 3 tools to keep everything in proportion, how I visually do things. It's using vertical lines, horizontal lines, you're welcome, and negative space. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, when I'm drawing the portrait, I'm going to be looking for, like, let's zoom in here actually. All right. When I'm drawing this, I'm gonna look for things that line up. Oh, why is it doing that? I'm gonna look for things that line up, like that, for example. I might also ask myself, oh, where's that corner of the mouth? Okay, that corner of the mouth is heading right up in there. Okay, when I draw the corner of the mouth, I want to be aware of that. Look at this right there. Okay, we've already discussed that. Now remember I said that the bottom of the ear lines up usually with the nose. Well, look at this. Look where the bottom of the ear lines up with the bottom of the mouth. That is crazy. Well, that tells me that this head is really tilting back, or my view is from a much lower view. So I will remember these ideas, but then I will use horizontal and vertical lines visually to see that things are lining up. And then the last thing is negative space. So for example, look at this right here. This is that's a negative shape right there. So when I go to draw the hand, I want to make sure I match that shape. You see that? Here's another nice negative shape right here. When I draw the forehead, I'm going to be aware of that negative shape. Okay? Here's one more, and then we'll get back to what we were doing. Here's another negative shape. Look at the amount of hair on this side compared to the amount of hair on that side. So when I draw this, I'm going to want to make sure that I've got more hair on the right than the hair on the left, okay? So I use those 3 measuring tools. I'm constantly looking for vertical and horizontal lines, and I'm also looking for trying to match negative shape, all right? Great question, Rona. Great question. You get 1,000 internet points, okay? I don't know what you could use them for, but you get 1,000 of them. All right, let's keep going here. All right, so we've established our 2D, and I've already given away that this girl is looking back. All right, so 3D is going to be, we're looking up. So let's let's draw this brow line as if we're looking up. Do you treat a low camera angle the same as a head tipping backwards? Yes, absolutely. I'm going to always look at it's from my point of view, so it would be the same, okay? All right, so we've got the 3D. Good question, Russell. So we got our 3D view now because we're looking low camera, looking up. And then let's get our face placement. So this last thing I want to show you, and we will make another layer right like this. And this is important. And I try and show this a lot, but it's so important. If we're doing a 3/4 view, we've got to make sure that the face is shifted to the left. You are going to naturally, if you don't think about it, you will end up drawing the face center. Every time you come up on a 3/4 view, you're going to draw everything center, and you've got to fight against that. Everything that, whenever you draw anything 3/4 view, you've got to make sure one side has more real estate than the other. Cannot center it. If you do, it will look wonky. All right. So, with that being said, 3/4, everything shifts one way. Here, this head is looking straight at us, dead center, okay? But now this one, if I put the face toward the top, this will give the impression that we're looking up. So we just want to keep that in mind as we continue here. Everything's going to shift to the left. So let's get our face. Our face is going to come in just like that, I think. That's about the angle I'm looking for. Now let's get our temple in place. All right, so there's my center. There's my center point. There's that temple. And now look at this. It is way over there. You see that? We want to make sure we respect that idea. So this is going to be our center right there. There's our one temple over there. And then this one, I'm going to come way over here. Now already I could see that I have a little bit more of a severe angle than the picture, but that's okay because I'm going to sail this ship straight off the cliff and I'm going to take you all with me. No, that's just my angle, but I'm not going to fix it. I'm just going to keep going, and this girl will have just a slightly different angle, but it should all lock into place as we keep going. So here we go. We got that, okay? Next thing you do, let's get the side here. This side is going to come just a little bit of an angle there. You see that? All right, let's get our nose, and we're just going to, right now I'm just going to kind of guesstimate the bottom of my nose. All right, right back here is going to be my cheek. I'm just going to kind of put some marks down so I can start watching that. That's the bottom of my nose. Let's figure out where our chin is. There's our chin. So look at this distance there. Look at that distance. It's almost equal, but I think the bottom part is slightly more, okay? So let's get that in place there. So that would be equal, but I'm going to drop it down just a little bit more. And that's where I'm going, right there. All right, let's get this chin in place here, and remember, it's going to be more on the right side than the left side. We're going to come down the side there. And then we're going to just curve this around right here. You see that? And we're going to curve this around just like that. All right, let's kind of get this feel for where this hair is going to come in. Okay, so once again, now this is the first time I'm going to kind of use I just want to get a rough idea. So I'm just going to come in like this. Okay, and I'm kind of trying to match this negative shape. That's where the temple is. So you know what? Let's just continue. I'm going to just going to quickly outline the hair here, and all right. So I'm just going to come in. It's like a wave almost. You see that? Just trying to get some general marks here. I'm looking at the thickness now. I'm looking at the thickness between there, and then I'm going to look at the thickness over here. You see that? That will also help me sell that we're looking 3/4. Straight line back here. Look at this. And then let's get this neck in, because the neck is going to help us with how far we go back with the hair. So let's just grab this little bit of an angle there. That's probably the wrong angle, so let's try it again. And then this hair, and I'm going to ignore the hand for right now. Hair is going to come there. I'm just trying to get the big picture going on here before we start getting into the facial features. All right. Look at that. Look at that shoulder. Look at their shoulder there. Where is that? Use a horizontal line in your mind, and where is that lining up? Using a horizontal line. Almost to the mouth, right? So I'm saying it's going to be like right about there. You see that? And then let's just do a nice sweep of this arm. In fact, I'm going to even come up more. I don't think I made it tall enough there. Don't be afraid to go too high on that. Really get that up. Okay, I'm just going to put a little indication here for his ear, her ear. Why do I keep saying that? Okay, just kind of getting some shapes in here. Where is the sleeve? The sleeve is going to be right about there. Look, we're doing everything but a portrait tonight, right? No. And then I'm just gonna quickly, like, all right, so maybe a wrinkle is gonna go there. Wrinkles are there. All right, let's get back into this head now. So let's start off with his nose, okay? So remember, one side of the nose. Now I'm going to erase a lot of these marks here so we can see what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to draw, ultimately I'm going to draw a shape like this. That's going to be the bottom of the nose, okay? But one side is going to be less, a little bit less than the other side, because it's on 3/4 view. We're just going to draw everything lightly. Okay, let's get this barrel of the mouth lightly. Once again, make sure the right side is more. Get that chin in place there. All right, now this eye is and it's very, let's see, where is the relationship? I'm looking at this area here. I'm like, okay, it's got to be up around in there. How I came up with that is like this. You know, I was kind of looking at this. I was kind of looking at this. And I was just kind of visualizing that shape. Where in that shape is the placement of the eye, okay? And let's get the other one now. So that's going to be almost like, now I can use a vertical line almost straight across. And that is, as Rona said, it's the corner of the nose does not line up with it. It's really kicked in. So, and how about the bottom there? Okay, so I'm going with that right there. The one on the right is bigger than the one on the left. The one on the left is bigger than the one on the right because it's in 3/4 view. All right, let's get this pupil in there and this pupil in here. Okay, let's get these lips in now. Barrel of the mouth is going to have a slight curve to it. Slight curve over the top of that chin there. Okay, now look at this little section right here. All right. For the lips, I'm going to show you this little part right there. That's what we're going to look at first, okay? So we're coming down here, and I'm a little bit on the one side, more on the other. It's probably too severe, but I'm going to roll with that. Now, when it comes to lips, this is what I look for. I look for that corner. I look for that corner. And I look for that up there. Okay. Those are the little pieces, that the little constellations per se. And Rona, if you're still with me now, so I'm looking at that corner and I'm going to use a vertical line there and a vertical line there, and look at that. Wow, that sure doesn't line up with the pupil, right? Well, that's what we got to go with there. So I'm going to have one there, and then the relationship with this is going to be a little bit higher. I think that's where I'm going to be at. All right, let's get that lip in there. Wow. Could adjust on the fly. All right, let's draw this bottom part of that lip. More on the right, less on the inside there. All right, let's get that bottom lip now. And it's, remember, the top lip is a little bit larger, so I just want to get that in place. What have I done here now? I don't know. Let's see here. I think now, as I'm looking at this, and we've kind of gotten closer here, I've kind of made the head too long, and that happens. So I'm just going to adjust it now. Yep, that's going to put everything off. Oh well, that's all right. We'll just make some slight adjustments. See? See, we all make adjustments. We all make mistakes. Not really mistakes, but you get the idea. All right, let's come back into the hair here for a minute, okay? And let's break down this big shape over here. So we have this kind of, it's like a giant S. You see this S curve? It comes around like this. Big old S curve right there. Comes in here. Some of that hand is going to be covering up, so we can come back a little bit. Let's come over here this side now. And there's another big S curve right here. Kind of straight down there, right? Another S curve back over here. As I'm drawing the hair, I'm just thinking of it as pieces. So there's the back end of that neck right over there. All right. Let's get these. Let's move into these eyeballs here, okay? Now I'm going to use vertical lines and try and figure out where here's the corner. I'm looking for that corner, and look at that. So the outside corner is a little bit lower. Inside corner, that's not quite right. It's about right there, okay? Also a little bit lower. And a vertical line, it's going to line up right when the inside of the lips there. Where's this lining up? Okay, almost at the corner of the jaw. So let's be mindful of those marks when we get our eyelids in. So, okay, so I'm going to go right there, I think, with that one. And then this one's going to be a little bit lower. Okay, and this is going to be a little bit across. All right, let's get these eyelids now. So we're going to sweep up here. We're going to go around the eyelid, and we're going to come down. Same thing over here. I'm going to reposition my pupils here in just a minute. All right, let's get the upper eyelid now, and look at the. This is where I'm going to zoom in here. I want to look for that negative space, and that negative space, okay? Make sure you go around. And then let's get these bottom eyelids in. All right, excellent. All right, get your eyebrows in here. And over here as well. Almost there. I come in now and start to get these pupils, and just the bottom part of the pupil is hitting that eyelid. Same thing over here. Might have to make a small adjustment. Why is Siri listening to me right now?
On it.
No, stop it. Okay. Oh, get the right color here. Going just with a light tone. Light tone for the upper lip. Light tone for underneath the nose. And let's take that same, and right now let's just draw in this draw it carefully now. Almost the whole right side is going to have this lighter tone. It goes from right there. Be careful, just get it in. Don't be afraid of it. A little bit underneath there. Underneath there. All of the neck. And if I squint my eyes, looks like this whole area of the hair. That's going to get really dark. This area has a tone. This area. fact, almost the whole side of that hair has a tone as well. Tone in here. Tone of the arm and tone of this turtleneck, whatever, right there, right? Getting all these little pieces in. All right, let's come back in here now and get a little more detail, right? This is mainly our construction is definitely done. I don't want the white, these whites of these eyes. Let's get this nose. I kind of forgot about it. Get that center part there and then drop in those nostrils. Nostril there. All right, let's go in with another value. So this is the side of the nose is going to have a darker value. Look at that. Let's just kind of put that in there. All right, this is going to be darker value. Nice and slow, and right here where I'm coloring right now, look, I've darkened that just a little bit. This is gonna, it's not in the picture, but it's gonna give a little bit more round to that cheekbone there. I'm gonna come in and darken the little side here. Darken this neck, because this neck is darken underneath the lips, above the chin. Corner of these lips has a dark little edge there, and then the lips are slightly open. Okay, let's get the left side here, and this is the whites of the eyes are very dark over here. Dark value up there and dark value on the side. Okay, I'm going to get that side of the head now in over here. Slightly changing my shape. Get this forehead, I'm going to change my shape slightly. I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to ignore that hand, okay? We're going to ignore it for tonight. Let's talk about this hair here. Mariana said she's tired of drawing hair, I thought. So let's try and get some nice volume to this hair. Look at this. I'm just going to focus on this piece right here. Okay. Adding just a couple textures, following the surface there, but all right, and that's going to come down here. This is all going to be very dark. This is going to be dark, and right about there, it's going to get very dark. And underneath here, it's going to get really dark. Okay. Get some tone in there. All right, I'm looking at mine now, and now I'm just kind of chiseling the sides down just a little bit. It's a little off, but it's okay. A little off. All right, get some hair here. Let's jump. I'm going to jump over the other side here. All right, this has a beautiful wave coming in like this. It's going to also have a little bit of tone underneath there. This is a S curve. And time to drop this whole thing back in another tone, I think. Yep. Underneath here, there's a bit of a shadow. Sorry, no question about placements of the eyes. You said to watch the point of the inner and outer part of the eyes, but do you also draw a line between both inner points in the eyes? Hope you understand. Do you, sorry, you are way ahead of me. That's okay, that's okay. Nope, we got plenty of time. This is why we do this, Rona, so you ask away, all right? So, let's do this. Let's come down here. I'm going to erase this. All right? Ask away. That's the whole point. That's why we're here, okay? Guys, if you have a question, you stop me and we look at it, because I'm sure someone else will want to see this as well. So, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, let's see, erase this whole area down here. Okay, let's go up big. Erase this. Hold on now. No, wrong level. There it is. Okay. So, let's look at the eyes. So first thing, I'm going to quickly just drop in my brow line. And there's my center line, okay? There's my center line right there. And I'm going to drop in, I'm going to do my nose. So let's start with my nose, like this. Remember, I'm going to draw this shape. I'm going to draw it in 3/4 view. Show more on that side than that side there. Now, Rona, the other thing too is when you draw a face multiple times, like the same person's face, you start to get familiar with it. And so the first time you draw it, it may not even look close to what you're looking at. And then you draw it again, and all of a sudden it starts looking a little bit more. I distinctly remember a time when things started to click as far as faces, and it would take me almost 5 or 6 times to draw the same face over and over and over again. And every time I drew it, it got closer and closer and closer. It's because I was just getting used to that idea. Okay, so here we go. All right, so I'm going to put these eyes in here now, and I'm going to start with the little corner there, okay? And if I go straight across, I can see this corner is just going to be down just a little bit lower than that. And then I can see the corner is coming over here, okay? And if I go straight, there's that corner, there's that one, there's that one, and there's that one. So if I go straight, those two are lining up, and I can almost, those two are lining up, the bottom ones as well, okay? Now, because it's 3/4, I know that the eye on the right is going to be slightly bigger than the other one. So I'm just going to drop my my eyeball in here. And I'm going to get my pupil in place. And now I'm going to go over the top of that. Wrap it. And the same thing on the other side. Okay, let's get that slight S curve. Over here, slight S curve. Eyelid goes on top there. Here's another thing when you're drawing eyes. Let's say that's the line. Here, let me do it like this. That's the line goes from corner to corner, Rona. And you kind of want to keep this general shape in mind. You want to think of lids like this, okay? And then the bottom part, eyes are going to be slightly off center like this. Generally, you really want to avoid this idea. You don't want to do that, okay? What you want to do is like this and like that, okay? So this would come up. down. Okay, so you're not just looking at the dots of one eye, but draw the lines between both eyes as well. Yes. Yes, I'm trying to look at the relationship, like the dots of one eye, and also that relationship as well. Okay. And typically, they will say that there is like a 3 eyes across. Okay. I think that we are done for the night. And that was great. Those are great questions, Rona. I'm glad that you asked them. This is why I do this. To help. I love doing it. Look at this. This sleeve is coming down like this. And then this, we're going to draw right on top of that face there. Arms coming in like this. Okay. Got it. Thank you. Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and I hope you pick something up tonight. That's what I got for you. Have a great weekend. I'll see you in Facebook group. Check it out. You think we're going to hit 3,000 this weekend? Yeah, we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching, everyone. See y'all later. Bye-bye.